Good morning to you. For Telesur, I'm Regan Devines in Caracas, Venezuela. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to our morning news show. Our top story today begins in Ecuador, where President Rafael Correa said the leftist governments in Latin America are facing a new Cold War. He and other leaders of the region have insisted that the United States is behind right-wing movements to destabilize the socialist governments in Brazil, Bolivia, Argentina, and Venezuela. Correa said it's no coincidence that the governments of these countries are all currently facing social unrest. He criticized the right-wing opposition and warned the public of upcoming protests.
We must tell the opposition that we are more than they are, that we are not willing to continue tolerating an established minority accustomed to overthrowing governments and forcing their agenda on the people. They are now attempting to strip us of our right to work, to free movement. We can't tolerate that they are destroying what we've worked so hard for. I call on you transport workers not to allow for anybody to close down our streets this August 13.
And while this was being said in Ecuador, in Bolivia, President Evo Morales was celebrating the country's independence. He told attendees that Bolivia would see a $2.5 billion drop in revenue this year. He said that in spite of this, Bolivia was well on track to grow 5.5% this year. Morales has recently accused the United States of orchestrating plans to destabilize the socialist governments of Latin America. This time, he blamed powerful countries for the drop in revenue.
We estimate we will have a loss in revenues and exports for last year of about $2.5 billion. And given this estimate, who can we blame for this reduction in the cost of a barrel of oil and mined minerals? I think some powers, between the powerful countries, they have made deals to hurt the economic situation of some so-called developing countries.
Mexico City prosecutors have charged the only suspect detained in connection with the death of a photojournalist, an activist, and 3 other women. Daniel Pacheco was arrested on Wednesday. According to officials, he has confessed that he was at the apartment when Ruben Espinosa, activist Nadia Vera, and 3 other women were tied up, tortured, and shot in the head. The suspect was charged with 1 homicide, 4 femicides, and robbery. Pacheco had been in jail 9 years for rape and robbery in the year 2000. The other 2 suspects are still at large. The trial against Argentina's former president Carlos Menem, plus a dozen co-accused officials, has begun. Menem was not present the first day of the trial, claiming health reasons. He is now 85 years old and still serves as a senator. He is charged with obstructing the investigation into the 1994 bombing of the Buenos Aires Jewish Center that left 85 people dead. Menem has already been convicted in a separate case of trafficking arms to Croatia and Ecuador, but he has never served a year in jail thanks to his immunity as a senator. St. Lucia's House of Assembly and Senate have passed a citizen by investment bill which government hopes will attract foreign investment into the country. Our correspondent Alison Kantesh explains the island's latest attempt to attract wealthy investors to the Caribbean island.
Caribbean governments are facing serious challenges attracting investment in their countries amid dwindling traditional means of financing for development projects. They are now looking to non-traditional means of keeping their economies afloat and taking care of their citizens. St. Lucia has become the 5th Caribbean country to offer citizenship to the wealthy in exchange for hefty investments. The country's Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. Kenny Anthony, told the House of Assembly that it was not easy agreeing to the program, but the reality of the economic situation demands action. Citizens like Victoria McLaurin say the program deserves serious consideration.
I think in one sense it's a good thing, but there are disadvantages and advantages. So you need to sort out everything properly and see what is advantageous and the disadvantages of economic citizenship. That's what I believe.
Other citizens say the program is necessary at this time as government faces issues such as high public debt and rising unemployment levels.
Since there are benefits to be derived from economic citizenship, yes, I support it because I believe the relevant authority will take all precautions to see that things work out all right.
St. Lucia is joining Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, and St. Kitts and Nevis as Caribbean countries with such programs. St. Kitts and Nevis's controversial program is the longest running in the world, having been founded in 1984. Citizens are hoping that the program will bring much needed investment in the country, along with jobs and renewed hope for the future. Alison Kentish, Telesur, St. Lucia.
A powerful car bomb went off just hours ago in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. At least 8 people were killed and 400 injured, according to the local police. Many women and children are among the casualties. The powerful blast damaged buildings, shattered windows, and caused damages to vehicles hundreds of meters away. In fact, the explosion was heard over 15 miles away.
I got a call from our watchman here in this house, so he called it like there was a big explosion. Me and my father came just at 2 o'clock. When we came here, so there was so many glasses on the street. The whole area was very dark. There was lots of clouds, and lots of people was shouting, yelling.
No group has claimed responsibility for the attack. The Republican presidential hopefuls' debate took place. As expected, Donald Trump literally took center stage. He drew boos from the crowd, but also was targeted by fellow Republicans when he refused to rule out an independent bid for the White House, because they say that would only increase the chances of a Democratic victory in November 2016. Trump currently leads the polls for the Republican presidential nomination. Again, he talked about Mexico.
People that I deal with, that I talk to, they say this is what's happening because our leaders are stupid, our politicians are stupid, and the Mexican government is much smarter, much sharper, much more cunning, and they send the bad ones over because they don't want to pay for them, they don't want to take care of them. Why should they when the stupid leaders of the United States will do it for them? And that's what's happening, whether you like it or not.
Close to 1,000 more migrants were rescued in the Mediterranean. This comes hours after 400 migrants were rescued from a capsized boat. 200 migrants were feared to have drowned. Italian officials said the boat had capsized because it was built to hold no more than 100 people. This year, at least 2,000 migrants have died at sea. More than 90,000 migrants have reached Italy so far this year. In 2014, Italy took in 107,000 refugees.
And of course, thanks to our news team in Ecuador for giving us the World News Brief. Moving on now, the youth of Lebanon have faced a very violent upbringing. They've grown up in the middle of conflict and foreign occupation. But despite all this despair and quite oftentimes lack of hope, many young men are converting this anger and traumatic experience into acting, the theatre arts. A local NGO and director brought together battle-scarred teens from 2 warring districts in Tripoli to perform in a stage production entitled Love and War on the Rooftop, a Tripolitan Tale. The play is a reflection of a life too well known by the youngsters, but on the bright side, they are allowed to tell their stories through the production and better understand that there are innocent people on all sides of the conflict.
The problem in Tripoli isn't the result of an ideological struggle. The problem is a lack of employment opportunities and hope.
And finally this morning, popular Comedy Central talk show host Jon Stewart signaled the end of an era for progressive United States as he hosted The Daily Show for one final time. After 16 years, Stewart, who is now 52, announced he would move on to other television projects. He was widely known for ruffling the feathers of mainstream media and politicians, while delivering articulate rants that encapsulated a huge portion of public opinion. His last show was understandably an emotional one, with Stewart himself bursting into tears twice. For more on these and other stories, please visit our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Regan Devines. Have a safe and productive day.